3 things I wish I knew when I first started lifting. The first and most underrated one of all is sleep. Sleep is actually one of the most important things to incorporate in your schedule when you're actually trying to build muscle. Now you might be thinking like, oh, when I'm in the gym, I'm pounding these weights. You're actually shredding your muscle down. However, when your body is recovering and you're sleeping, that is when the muscles are being built back up. And so when you get a sufficient amount of sleep, you end up building more muscle in that process. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little story. Not only has this happened to me before, but this has happened to a bunch of athletes I know. Real quick, I'm actually re-recording this part for you guys because I feel like I could explain this a lot better to help you guys get a better understanding. So during high school, I would do a lot of waking up, going to school, going to practice right after school, and then doing homework all night, and then sometimes going out to socialize with friends or just hang out with people, and then sacrificing a lot of my sleep and repeating that over and over. In high school, I probably slept on average anywhere between like 5 to 6 hours a night, when in reality, you are supposed to be getting anywhere between about 7 to 9 hours a night. With that being said, after high school, I started prioritizing my sleep a lot more, and because of this, I actually started seeing a significant amount of gains, whether it be physically. I started getting more shredded, started getting stronger in the gym, literally just because my sleep habits started changing. And I actually got 9 hours of sleep each night as opposed to the 5 or 6 that I was getting back in high school. It's important to try to schedule what you can and control the factors that you are capable of controlling in your life. And if you don't, for any reason, want to sacrifice your social life or any other aspects of your life, and you are okay with sacrificing your sleep, just keep in mind you will reap what you sow. With that being said, if you are in school or have a full-time job or play sports or all of the above, you do need more sleep than the average person because of all the energy you're expending, and it further helps with your recovery and optimizing your efficiency throughout the day. The second thing that I wish I knew when I first started lifting was how important diet actually matters when you are trying to build muscle. The thing that I found out is that calories actually truly do matter, because whether you are trying to gain weight or lose weight, you will be eating in a surplus or a deficit respectively. Feel free to click in the link in the top right hand corner for a video on how to gain weight, and feel free to click in the link up in the top right hand corner again on a video on how to lose weight. So you have to keep in mind, you can't just specifically work out all the time and assume that you're going to pack on a bunch of muscle weight, or if you're trying to lose weight, you can't just work out the whole time and assume, oh, because I'm working out, I'm going to lose weight if you're eating in 1,000 calorie surplus. Keep in mind that a lot of people's maintenance calories vary as well. So your maintenance calories are essentially where you stand when you're just walking around or what you eat throughout the day, and that's just your average calorie count. However, you can track them through different apps, or you can count them throughout the day as you eat, and you can just look at the back of the wrappers, the containers, whatever, and see how many calories are in which you are eating. Another thing to keep in mind is the quality of the foods you are eating. You can't just eat a bunch of candy bars and caloric surplus and assume, okay, this is a good way to gain weight. You want to eat a bunch of fruits and vegetables and high quality proteins and meats, because this does determine how efficacious your workouts may be. So for example, fruits and vegetables will be a lot more effective than having a bunch of cookies before your workout, because not only are they healthier for you, they will give you a lot more energy to allow your body to function more optimally. Another huge thing that I realized is that by simply hitting the amount of protein you want to get per day makes a drastic difference in itself. So for example, most people will be taking in about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for example, I weigh about 165 pounds right now, so I'd be taking in around 165 grams of protein per day. The third and final thing that I wish I knew when I first started working out was taking time off. Now this personally hits the hardest, because this is the biggest one for me. I have always been go, go, go. The harder I work out, the more I'll grow, the more results I will see in a quicker amount of time. Now this, although may be true for beginners doing it the right way, proper form, etc., this is not always true for more experienced lifters, or really just anybody in general who is trying to optimize their training. One of the main problems with overtraining is that it often leads to CNS failure, which is central nervous system failure. This does not necessarily mean your whole body just shuts down. However, during certain workouts, or for example, if you're playing sports, sometimes your body could just give out on you. Even if you ate a sufficient amount of carbs beforehand, you had ergogenic aids, diet, and everything that you needed in order to get a sufficient sufficient amount of energy in for your sport or your lift. However, sometimes your body just gives out on you and you don't exactly understand why. This might be a result of overtraining in general. Overtraining really does go hand in hand with sleep itself because both are needed for recovery. Like I said earlier, when I was talking about sleep, your body actually recovers when you are resting after you work out. Your muscles being torn down when you work out, they're being built back up when you are taking time off, recovering the proper way. Another thing with taking time off from the gym is that you significantly decrease the risk of injury. So when you're injured, you can't exactly lift weights all the time. Say you hurt your back, you can't exactly be squatting or deadlifting or do a lot of your key compound lifts when you're injured. And sometimes when you're severely injured, you might not even be able to lift at all. It is better that you take a little bit of time off and take a rest day or two rather than trying to trash yourself every single day and your risk of injury just continues to go up. A popular thing that I tend to see with a lot of beginner lifters is that they tend to go to the gym so frequently that they get burnt out extremely fast. Taking a little bit of time off, once again, can help prevent this burnout, especially for beginner lifters. When you take a little bit of that time off, you're decreasing your risk of injury. You are not experiencing burnout as many beginners do. Even long-time lifters, you aren't experiencing burnout as other long-term lifters do. And you tend to get more of an itch to go back in the gym on those rest days. So on your rest days, you're kind of disappointed, like, oh shoot, like this is my rest day. And it's needed, of course, because you start to learn over time how important these rest days are. And then it becomes kind of like an itch to you, like, oh, I'm ready to get back in tomorrow. And then you could hit the gym even harder the next day. So just like the other 2 points on this list, plateaus can be broken once again by taking a little bit of a break from the gym, whether this be physically or for your strength or whatever sort of program you were in. Breaks don't hurt, especially if you are pushing very hard in the gym. However, keep in mind that you should be easing your way back into the gym instead of just trying to push hard right away, because this is then, once again, how you would injure yourself. So when I say take time off from the gym, I don't necessarily mean a month, 6 months, whatever. It could be anywhere between a couple more rest days added on to your normal rest day, or even a week or 2 off before you hop back into it. It really just depends on whether or not you are partaking in vigorous training or moderate training. That being said, those are the 3 things that I wish I knew when I first started lifting. All 3 of these will help you break through plateaus, whether it be physically or even mentally at points. But keep these in mind, follow these rules, whether you're a beginner lifter or an experienced lifter. Comment down below if you've experienced any of these similar issues in the past or how you overcame them. With that being said, subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.